questions that you sent me are excellent questions, and it demonstrates how much you are all understanding of how complex this issue is. On the question of the 6 months, I have to say I'm a bit ambivalent about that one. The 6-month period is really something that came from the negative acts questionnaire that was developed by Einarsson and his colleagues in Norway. And so that's a kind of a cutoff that they were using to measure whether you have been bullied or not. But I have to say that if I was receiving some of the items on the negative acts questionnaire is, receiving threats of violence or death threats, or withholding information from you, being generally aggressive towards you, I would say after experiencing them on a weekly basis for 6 months, I would not be my well-being and my mental health would be a mess. So I sometimes think that 6-month cutoff is too stringent and it's too difficult. And in reality, it doesn't work.
Okay. Just 1 minute to translate.
Are you all hearing me?
Yes. Everything's clear. Just 1 minute. I will just translate a few minutes.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Just to get the idea. تقول انه هي يعني مو نفسانيين انه محددين هذا الموضوع عن استبيانات واسئله، وهي خلال اسبوعيا خلال 6 شهور اسبوعيا تتابع هذا الموضوع. تتابع الموضوع، فهذا الموضوع انه واصل الى قناعه انه 6 شهور هي الفتره المثاليه انه يتحقق بها التنمر الوظيفي. Okay, and we are going to the.
So it was something that occurred as a result of research, but not practiced. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have the second question. Actually, it's like from Hassan and Mustafa. They are asking about, because they are manager and they wanted to ask about, there is a difficult to make the differentiation between the bullying and the commitment managing, the coaching sometimes. How can't we just make this difference and don't lead to the bullying?
It's difficult. It's a fine line between what we would call here in Australia normal managerial behavior and bullying. So I'll only answer in bits, and then you can translate, and then I'll add a bit more to that now.
Okay. كل صعب هذا الموضوع انه تتميز بين الاداره صارمه والكوتشنج الاداره قويه وبين انه البولينج كل الصعوبات بهذا الموضوع. Okay, please continue.
So it depends on, as with anything with bullying, it depends on the context. It depends on the type of relationship as to whether the type of behaviors that the manager is using are bullying behaviors or not.
Okay. هي تعتمد على العلاقة أصلاً بين المدير والمرؤوس والموظفين، تعتمد على الجو العام اللي موجود بالوظيفة. هاي على الأساسيات إنه هم يقدرون يقررون إنه هو تنمر bullying workplace أو لا إنه هي إدارة صارمة. Okay, please go.
Yeah. So in my research, I research upwards bullying. Okay. So subordinates bullying a manager, and in that case, it can become very, very confusing.
Okay. لكن اكو لانه هذا الكونفيوزنج اللي موجود، الارتباط اللي موجود بيناتهم، التشويش الموجود، صعوبه انه حتى بالنسبه له انه مرات نتفرق بين الاداره اللي صار الكوميتمنت منه. Okay. Shall we go to the third question or it's okay?
Yep. Unless anybody has some other questions or you want to clarify anything.
اوكي، اذا اكو اي شيء توضيحي خلال هاي الاسئله يقول يعني رجاء. كمل انه هذا اذا كان اسئله، بس اذا توضيح على هاي السؤال يعني اكو شيء. Okay, there's a clear. Yeah. The third question actually, they say the behaviors of like related of the work of the bullying workplace, like to like withholding the information, like how we can like know that there is like withholding with the information from the organization.
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard, and that's one of the problems with workplace bullying is that it's hard to prove it, and it's almost a they say this, I say this, and it's hard, especially with things like withholding information, that type of thing. Can be very difficult.
اوكي، تقول كله صعب ويعني هارد، يعني موضوع انه تعرف الشركه بتحجب صدق معلومات عن من يعني عن الموظف اللي موجود عندها، فنقول اكو صعوبه كلش بهذا الموضوع انه تعرفه. But how can we prove that? Like how can for the employee they prove that?
Yeah, hard, and that's why in here in Australia, I know it's really hard for somebody who is being bullied to actually prove it, and so very rarely do cases of bullying ever achieve an outcome that a target of bullying would be happy with or satisfied with. Yes.
نقول حتى احنا باستراليا عندنا كل الصعوبه انه الموظف يقدر يثبت ان المنظمه تحجب عليه معلومات ويقدرون يعني يثبتون هذا الشيء. Okay, we are going to
that is why I would suggest not taking an adversarial approach to addressing workplace bullying, but a problem-solving approach to workplace bullying, because it could be a misunderstanding of something that's happened, etc., that has escalated into bullying.
Okay. تقول بالنهايه لان هاي صعوبه حتى انا دائما خلال يعني بالكتابه مالتي ما تصل انه ما اثبت اي شيء، اقول يعني انه هذا ثابت، انه دائما ابقي الى انه احتماليات اكو الى اخره، يعني الستر هذا موجود. Okay, the fourth question actually they are going to ask you, because you know in our country actually it's not that kind of is not clear for us to put the policy for the bullying in the you know in the world. So our question, how can to go to the like know that's you know action it's already is bullying or not. So there's a standards actually for that.
Australia has introduced legislation about that's designed to stop bullying in one state particularly, but as such nobody has been that law has not been used yet, and I think that law came into effect about 6 years ago. Yeah, so it's again it's a hard thing to monitor, police. Yeah.
تقول احنا باستراليا بس اكو ولايه واحده لحدث مطبقه موضوع انه التنمر الوظيفي عليه قانون، باقي ما يقدرون يعني كل الصعوبه يقدرون يحددون المفردات مال التنمر اللي موجوده داخل العمليه. So, but sometimes we hear the stories from like Western Europe or the United States. Like there is some employee, they are going to the court because of bullying from the work. You know, they are going to the court.
It might be more based on workplace health and safety. So not providing a safe work environment, possibly. But in terms of the actual behaviours or trying to legislate against bullying behaviours, I don't think we're that successful in terms of that.
يعني باوروبا وبامريكا انه مرات اكو موظفين يعني يقاضون الشركات واللي يروحون شلون العداله تصير، تقول الا اكو مرات تدخل موضوع السيفتي مالته يعني الامان مالته، اذا اكو بس يتاثر الامان مالته يقدر
الامان الوظيفي؟
لا مالته الامان النفسي او هذا يعني نفسيا انه يكون متاثر صدق متاذي نفسيا، الانفايرمنت يعني البيئه اللي موجوده مع العمل مالته اذيته. اوكي.
And also, I would say where they are successful, it tends to be the more extreme examples of workplace bullying, which tend to include assault, violence, which you can address with other legal avenues as well.
اوكي. تقول هو لازم يثبت نفسه انه هو ضحيه، يعني كعنوان ضحيه انه يقدر يروح يعني انه يقدر يسوي الاجراءات القانونيه مثل مشاريع. Okay, the last question, and sorry we just bother you actually. The last question is about the interview actually. How we can know this person is coming to our job and we make the interview. This guy he's the bullying. Like there is a standards criteria we can follow it.
Yeah. It's again tricky because I would say that most bullies would not identify their own behaviour as bullying, but and so I think it would be very hard. And there is talk within the workplace bullying researchers that it's hard to try and weed out bullies before you bring them in. Very, very difficult. Yeah. Sorry, no answer. No quick answer.
تقول ماكو يعني ثوابت اللي بعمليه هذا، بس يعني اكثر الناس اللي هو متنمر من يجي بالمقابله مستحيل يبين نفسه انه هو متنمر، فمن المستحيل انه انت راح تعرف ان هذا الشخص متنمر راح تقدر توظفه او لا. Okay. Okay. Now we have like a question from Prof. Dr. Ghani about you. Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for your time. May I ask?
Pleasure.
Yes. May I ask about prevention strategy of workplace bullying that human resource management can take it in workplace.
So you're saying, does this behaviour happen beyond the workplace?
Like there is the clear strategies and prevention. There is like clear strategies.
Clear strategies to address workplace bullying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the best strategy an organisation can take is to take a learning organisation approach. So problem solving, trying to learn from these experiences.
تقول حسب الخبره هسه الموجوده ماكو استراتيجيات يقدرون ينفذوها.
الاجتماعيه.
You know, like like an introduction actually in chapter 22, you mentioned that like there is the prevention strategies, effective prevention strategies. Like our prof, he asking about which kind of strategies this one.
Okay. So I would say that organisations need to take a problem-solving approach to addressing workplace bullying. They need to make sure that everybody is aware that it is everybody's responsibility to address workplace bullying. It's not just managers' responsibility. Everybody is responsible. And that's part of bringing bystanders. So everybody is part of trying to solve the situation. Yeah. Does that so using bystanders.
الجميع هي استراتيجيه اصلا هي مسؤوليه الجميع انه يتحركون انه يكافحون التنمر. اكو هي تقول هي الاستراتيجيه عباره عن هو المنظمه كلها شارك فكره just we have like so there is no approach for this strategy.
For what strategy? Sorry, I'm not hearing.
The prevention. we still
prevention.
There is like a clear approach about this.
Yeah, so I think it's about not just educating people about workplace bullying, what it is, what it's not, but it's empowering people to be able to identify when a bullying behavior is occurring, and empowering people to be able to respond and step up and help targets. And so it's about engaging bystanders. So witnesses who might see what is happening, it's about empowering them so that if and when they see it, they can then address it. That's one way. So
الجواب اللي موجود اصلا في الملزمه انه يقول لازم انه يسوي تدريب للموظفين كلهم، وهذا اللي هو يعني تدريب يعلموهم ويعلموهم انه المظاهر مال البولينج ايش راح يعني وين راح تودي تاثيرها على المنظمه بالضبط.
another
Yes, sorry.
Another point would be is that bullying often occurs when change is happening within the organization. So about being really aware that change can trigger bullying and putting things in place that will help people to be able to express their frustration with the change.
تقول التغييرات اللي تصير بالمنظمه، هسه السؤال اللي يجي من عندي، التغييرات اللي تصير بالمنظمه هي يصير احباط عند مرات الموظفين، يصير عندهم يعني frustration.
التحرش بالتنمر له علاقه بالتحرش الشخصي، التحرش الجنسي، لو تحرش
كلها. اوكي بس ما راح اسال اشياء. She asked about the harassment actually. It's like bullying. Is it clear bullying actually?
Yeah, some people have called bullying general harassment. So it's not sexual harassment, but it's more generalized harassment. Yes, very similar.
نفس الشيء. او هذا اللي هو سواء جنسي او هذا اللي هو كلها. إذا كتب أول ورقة، أول صورة بالبنية هي كاتبة كلها بنيها. شباب أكو بعد سؤال استفسار. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and I really appreciate your time with us, and looking forward for if you need anything actually from here, like we are welcoming. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, I would love it. And thank you for the invitation to be part of your class, and all the best to everybody with your studies. And I hope you get an A for your presentation.
Sure, absolutely. We get everything, and we perfect. We're honored actually. We have you here with us. Thank you so much.
I was honored that you asked. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
هاي طبعا مبادرة بارك الله فيك. طبعا هاي تصير أكثر شيء بالطبية والهندسة.